Hello there, and welcome to Holy Moonlight Crusaders. I am Jaden Proctor, the Nazarene Preacher Man, and we're going to be playing some Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. We had a great time playing Resident Evil 4, and Sekiro is kind of part of the Dark Souls series, the Soulsborne series, but we're going to find out just how much that's true, which also means there's probably not going to be a whole lot of worldview to discuss. The Dark Souls game, a lot of times you get to come up with the worldview kind of yourself. But there are a few things in there, so we'll just see as it goes. But I'm not alone today. There are a few others in the chat. Who else is here? Voice chat, that is.
Trey's and Tyler here. Get him a little coffee action.
Yeah. And a little speed note here for our speed run through this game. Tradesman Tyler is actually the one playing it. Of all things crazy, he's playing it and doing share play with me. And I've got a capture card, and so I'm sitting here. So you're watching a video of someone else watching a video game as if I am playing it. So we're gonna have fun with this. It'll be fun. So
we are heavily layered. A little bit of video game Inception.
Yes. Man, I watched some other movie that was like a better version of Inception.
That was like Inception?
Yes, but a much better version of it. It was an older movie. It wasn't Paranoiac, which is a Hammer horror movie.
Alright, y'all ready?
Yeah, let's
push
roll.
the start button. What?
We
Crank
live. Let's crank it.
Let's see.
Activision. Wait, Activision? What is
It's
Activision?
and From Software.
I didn't know Activision had anything to do with any of the Souls games.
That is a long terms of service. Alright.
Yep.
The title
Which is already telling you a little bit.
Is Japanese. Let's see, we're going to change this to English because I understand English a whole lot better.
Did you intentionally say English? You're going to change it to English?
Yes. Oh no. Hold on, let me go back. Okay, see. Yes, I intentionally called it English.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Okay, here we go. Camera speed. Next. But on subtitles. Do we want subtitles?
Switch. Yeah, subtitles are good.
Brightness.
Especially with some of the stuff I have around. I usually have... I've kind of got to listen to the audio and monitor and stuff it a little bit. So.
I've kind of got to listen to the audio and monitor and stuff it a little bit.
Hopefully we won't get too many echoes in the recording. Actually, we should have really checked on that.
Hopefully we won't.
Japan was consumed by a perpetual conflict.
Oh, so this is in real Japan.
Aged on, spread it deep into the mountains, to the land of Ashina.
You know, you see a lot of people cope with balding differently. That dude's like, I'm gonna have a ponytail and bald. I'm gonna get the best of so many worlds. They'll have to put me in a video game cutscene.
I almost wonder if that's kind of a Japanese thing. 'Cause that seems like you see that more in a Japanese setting. I wonder if that's what Tori's with. I'm like,
The cuts toe clean off simulator.
I can tell you one thing. Well, I guess that sword's not sharp on both sides, but I don't think I'm going to be putting hand on the sword blade to try to push it into somebody else. I guess I'm in that situation.
Master swordsman.
I mean, who's he yelling at? The wheat? It didn't look like there was anyone there.
Wrested control of the
That
land.
wheat has been fighting that battle for a long time. That guy just coming to cut it down. The wheat just wants to grow.
I don't know that much about Japanese history. If this is actually based in Japan, is this supposed to be real? Is this real history? Is this like historical fiction? Oh, look at this.
That's a
What's
sharp
the
blade.
matter, Stray? Nothing left to lose. Well, would you look at that? Fascinating. Will you join me, Darving Wolf? On that day, a young cub was taken from the battlefield. He trained relentlessly, and indeed, went on to become a
Have you
master
seen the beginning of Conan the
You
Barbarian?
must never forget
The original Conan the Barbarian?
code.
Yes.
Where Conan, they come and destroy his village and his family's village, and they cut him out of the womb and take him.
As of today,
I don't remember that part.
Oh yeah, man, it's brutal.
defend him with your life. If he is taken, bring him back at any cost. You understand?
They kill his mother and take Conan out of the womb.
That's one heck of a way to be born.
Yes.
Hey, Tori, have you fed Loki today?
Loki. So yeah, did y'all enjoy Resident Evil 4?
Yeah, it was a pretty good looking game.
You know, it got a lot more interesting
of
towards the
tentacles.
end.
A lot of tentacles. But yes, they're
Some
I'm not
20
sure.
years After
prediction
each clue
of what could happen
The Ashina
is
planet.
right on.
was on
Well,
the brink
it's
of
easy to
collapse.
be considered prophecy when your finger is actually on the pulse.
And the
Prophecy is
Shinobi
easy when it's
known
just
as
looking at how history
lost
repeats itself.
everything.
Though I was shocked when they got the
Both
most
the
powerful
man
forces in the U.S. are first the judiciary, then the administrative state, which is the bureaucracies, and then the military.
What do you think would happen if if Congress had direct control of the military? Would they use that to their benefit?
Well, I mean, look at what they
Or
do now.
Are they already doing it? They're already doing it.
You can go a lot further with having the bureaucracies at your disposal. And that's,
Shinobi.
I think they have already had the optimal system. I think if they had wanted something like that, they would have done it by now.
For the sake
Look
of
here.
Master.
This is actually a pretty nice cutscene. This looks more like gameplay here than what we saw before, and it looks good. I mean, I'm not one who's super strict on graphics,
But it looks good.
but it looks good.
It does not look like Dark Souls 2. I know, I give him a lot of hate, but
Hey,
really no.
I'm down for some
Eating a tissue? She's like,
Dark Souls 2. I'm going to increase the brightness a little bit for the capture card. Started to look a little dark. Is that like the version of the bonfire in this game? Yep, spin,
see.
spinny spin.
oh, X is jump. Square
Oh, yeah,
pick up.
'cause-
Nope, that's a letter.
Ornamental letter.
A letter thrown into a well.
Your destiny awaits you at the Moonview Tower. M-O-O-N, that spells Moonview Tower.
Escape from the well, find the tower bathed in moonlight. They do like the moon.
They do like the moon. And since we live in the era of the stand, that is perfectly fine.
Oh.
I don't know what just
Interesting.
happened, but there was some desktop audio that made some noise on the computer. That's kind of creepy. Turn that audio input off. So that kind of looks cool, this cave here. Thought about doing some Legend of Zelda
It's a well.
Taste of the Wild. Which I guess nobody gets that joke unless you feed your dog the dog food Taste of the Wild. But on a serious note, I don't know how interested you would be in watching it, but The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, the remake of it's pretty good. That would be worth a playthrough.
Yeah, I don't mind watching it. I'm trying to figure my way up out of here.
Oh yeah.
So I can get up. Maybe I can jump.
Yeah, this does look good. It looks like it moves pretty fluidly as well.
Yeah, it's It's moving really well, but not sure where to go.
No, Derek is calling me.
I think
Too
he said
bright.
the capture card's too bright.
Really? It doesn't look too bright.
Alright, so right off the bat, it looks like you do not get to edit your character's
Yeah.
Look.
Game itself is kind of bright.
It's not being seen by crouching in bushes.
That shinobi at the bottom of the well. We didn't shackle him, restrain him, nothing. Doesn't worry anybody?
Not at all. Not only is he unarmed, he has completely lost his will to live. Nothing but a coward. Unworthy of our concern.
Just trash talking him, aren't they?
Evidently the stream on YouTube is looking a little pixelated. But I don't think there's anything I can...
It might be my connection.
Well, I mean, it's looking fine on the TV.
Oh, okay.
And it looks fine on my monitor here that I've got right in front of me, so... And then over on the computer screen, it looks... But I mean, I've got a tiny little picture right there, but the bigger monitor that's actually got OBS in it, it looks fine. But there were some internet issues when I first got started, so if that's the case, there's probably not anything that can be done about it. Though it's telling me I've got good kilobyte. Got like 25, 26, 2700 kilobytes per second. So this is kind of neat. How fluid does this mechanic feel?
Man, it's pretty nice. Oh, I should have ran.
The picture is clearer but still bright. Well, I'll darken it up some.
This baddie seen me. You know what? I'm gonna pull a pro gamer move.
The pro gamer move.
And I'm just gonna run.
I darkened it up now, but now I can't see anything. The monitor just looks black.
It does not open from this side. Now that's definitely Dark Souls.
Yes, that is definitely Dark Souls.
Let me see if, that looks like instant death. And I think instant death is coming to me. Oh, it matter. Death. Doesn't even say you died, it just says death. That's cute. It has a loading bar. That's a little different than the Dark Souls, man. Oh, I gotta get back through the well again. Let's see what this way. A whole lot of nothing. Did y'all get any bad storms the other day?
No.
Thursday?
No, I haven't seen any storms here in a while.
Man, my dad's neighbor. I was actually on the phone with my dad, and it sounded like a gunshot went off. And it was actually lightning striking a tree, and it split the tree. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, crouch down, get down. I'm not sure where to go here.
There is one thing worth talking about, and I wish I would have thought of this before earlier today. Even though I preached that same sermon, actually I've preached that sermon 4 times in the last 2 days, but the times I preached it today, I wish I would have thought of something I said after church, because I had built into the sermon the fact that we live in a day and age where you're shamed if you don't want to become part of Legion, where you're told you're selfish if you want to have freedom, you're selfish if you want to exercise, you know, your individual agency to make decisions that affect your faith. You know, Christ respects you enough to let you make decisions. God will let you choose if you want to condemn yourself. God will let you do that. But our world doesn't want to let you have any personal agency, any personal ability to make decisions that are meaningful. You're told that you're selfish if you don't want to be part of Legion. It conflates the difference between the collective and the individual. Scripture tells us you're your brother's keeper and you live within a collective, but it doesn't tell you you are yourself and your brother. You are not a collective. You might live in one, but you're not a collective. And we have our world that wants to conflate that. I should have put there in the end that you have to, when you're dealing with Legion, because Legion is really taking advantage of this George Floyd situation, you have to cast Legion out of people and into pigs, and then the pigs into the ocean before you can deal with the real problem. Before you can deal with the personal problems, and by personal I mean the ones that are affecting individuals as humans, you've got to cast out Legion into the pigs, into the water. As long as Legion is in people, you can't have an adult serious you can't do anything meaningful to help them. Now I wish I would have thought about that earlier. And the same thing's true in like Resident Evil. Like you've got to deal with the whole you got to get rid of the cult and the thing that's infecting people before you make meaningful difference.
All right. I'm gonna say this. I want y'all to tell me what this reminds you of before I say it.
Bowser's Castle in Super Mario Odyssey.
Tomb Raider.
It does remind me of Tomb Raider. Actually, the opening scene that you had there made me think of Tomb Raider 1, actually, I guess, where Lara Croft goes in that cave. It's a shame we don't have a good Tomb Raider-like game in the modern world.
We got the Tomb Raider. We didn't get the Tomb Raider we wanted. We got the one we deserved.
Yeah, you know, that's probably the truest thing I've heard somebody say about the new Tomb Raider series. It's not the one you wanted, but it's the one you deserve.
It's not the one you want. You deserve a tutorial-styled, redefined Lara Croft video game.
That's focused heavily on shooting and combat rather than puzzles and long, thought-out gameplay that carefully made decisions.
That's focused on trying to make or appeal to, I guess, I don't want to say feminist, but
it is. It's
they
feminist.
want to appease to feminist.
Yeah.
When everybody just wanted a regular Lara Croft.
She's somewhere between being like a total victim and also every power that you would expect in a pinnacly athletic man.
Yes.
Which is like the direct opposite of what she was originally. I mean, she was not a victim of all of anything, and I got a weird black box that come up. It went away. The healing gourd. Is that degrading that the Estus has been reduced to a gourd?
No, I think it's kind of fitting. I'm
You'll
okay
let
with
it slide? Okay, if you'll let it slide. Mercy triumphs over judgment, so we'll let it slide too.
Yeah, I'm even fine with I'm fine with it being like something Native Americans would use, like a bladder. I'm fine with that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, I'm cool. Oh, a Homeward Idol. So here's Homeward Burn.
Well, the fonts definitely look like Dork Souls.
Yes.
Dark Souls, Bork Souls, Damp Souls, whatever you want to call it. The font and stuff looks like it. I've already shamed myself by commenting on fonts once, so now you just embrace it and go on with it. Yeah, and you can power through that stuff too, like you can in Dark Souls.
Yeah, that's the Fire Keeper.
Man, I done forgot what I was gonna say. Something about Tomb Raider. You get stuff like Nathan Drake, which is close to Tomb Raider. It's probably the closest to a modern game that feels like Tomb Raider, but it's so much more fast-paced. One of the great things about...
the answer to the Gamergate Tomb Raider.
Yeah. Yeah, the Gamergate Tomb Raider. It's a great way of describing, because, you know, they weren't the worst games, but they just weren't memorable. Like, I've never desired to go back and play the new Tomb Raider remakes, and I do desire to go back and play the classics, and even some of the older Tomb Raider games that I had never played before, even some of the ones that weren't so great, they're still more memorable and fun than... I mean, if I just want to run around and shoot up baddies, I mean, you put in any other, like, modern third-person shooter, I mean... It wasn't original what it was doing this time. It wasn't focused on tombs or raiding or... Which I guess if you're focused on being politically correct, you can't do that. You can only shoot legions of men if you're being politically correct.
First visceral of the game. Oh! Well, I guess I shouldn't look down at my phone.
First visceral of the game? Indeed. First smoking of the game.
I shouldn't have been looking at my phone.
The safety roll. While in downed or posture...
I'm sorry.
Bro, that's a hard sentence to read. Oh.
Let's try this again.
Yeah. Is he like a zombie? He's like the hollow dude?
Yeah, they're the first hollows of the game.
See, he's just like a farmer trying to mind his own business, and Tyler's out here just smoking him. Man, it's a little bit early, but I've already got a dog capsized.
I got a couple of them like that, yeah.
Do your dogs normally capsize by this hour? Mine does not.
Dude, they capsize whenever they can. Sometimes relentless attacks not enough to break posture, deflecting the L1 moment.
This blue healer is always up, man.
Man, looks like it went through the armpit.
Man, I thought I was almost gonna buy another little dog today. At Walmart,
Oh, really?
I seen this box back there and people holding and looking at him, and I don't want another dog. Though I miss Charlie, but I've kind of told myself if I come across somebody selling little dogs like that, I will permit myself to impulse buy one. And I saw it and I was like, I think I'm about to have to impulse buy a dog. And I got a little bit closer and I could see like a little tail and I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. And then I saw that they were cats and I was like,
Nope. So it doesn't seem like I have a health bar. Well, maybe that is a health bar at the bottom. I'm not
yeah,
sure
I think
what
that's a
that
health
is.
bar at the bottom. Which I'm fine if
Let's
people
see.
like cats. I don't have the temptation to impulse get a cat.
Okay, yep. I only had one heal. I didn't go very far.
Oh man, you want to talk about low-level mage walkers, Tyler? It had that word, which I don't read Japanese. It had that character that appeared on you when you healed,
Oh man.
which is just very Asian. But so I've been watching
Must be
the
like a stronger baddie.
yes.
He's not low level. He's got
He's got a hat,
a hat. That's big hat Logan.
big hat Logan.
Or that's
Well,
that's little hat.
I was gonna. Do you remember in the Undead Burg where you get the hollows that have the spears that are a little bit harder to kill?
Yes.
He looks like he's about on their level comparatively.
Yeah.
Is that a
See if
fair?
I can get around. Yeah.
What is that bar in the middle doing? Do you know?
I have no idea.
It's stressing me out a little bit because it kind of looks like the health bar in Elder Scrolls Online. And I was like, dude, this dude's so mean. He's just looking at you and sucking your health right out. He is a basilisk. I've been watching Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange is in a couple of episodes of it, and dude,
Yeah.
every statement out of his mouth was like, from the power of the 12 moons, from the name of the 7th son of Saturn. And it's like somebody needs to pull this man's head up, or his pants up, and give him a wedgie and a swirly. Like, he's already got his cape in a way that's like optimized for a swirly. Like, you can stick his head in the toilet, and then you can just, you know, pad the water off. But listen, I'm glad that he was only briefly in Spider-Man, because I don't know that you could listen to a whole show of that.
They gave him his own movie.
They did. The movie is not as bad as the show. I saw the movie in 3D. It was actually a really cool movie to see in 3D with all the fractals and stuff. I normally don't like CGI, but that was actually pretty cool in 3D. I don't know that I would see it again. Like, it wasn't the best thing that's ever happened, but it was alright. It was fun.
Well, I didn't get the chance to beat that guy.
Beat that guy. Ashina Reservoir.
See, Michael, this is just a low-level function hollow.
Yeah, no, he doesn't even, it's not really bothering anything, but you gotta smoke him.
Oh my gosh. The stagger effect is like real.
Yeah.
There's no poise.
You know, they've, no poise. But is there ever really any poise?
It's off.
When
So,
my neighbors put up a privacy fence, I've been thinking about redoing some fencing. Maybe I should make one of these like stake fences that go all the way around my house and yard with these spikes.
so you can parry to an extent. Oh, get up out of there, my dude. Little Hat Logan's coming in for you.
Nathan Drake, Uncharted. Make a death count for viewers. We could do a death count for viewers.
Did somebody say that?
Yes.
Oh,
Derek
yeah, we do
Superleg
need to
said
make a
that.
death count.
Um, Derek Superleg. Okay, Derek Superleg. I'm gonna try to keep count of stuff, but my brain feels like it's only firing on 2 of 8 cylinders today. Well, we'll say 2 of 6 cylinders since I drive a lot of inline 6 cars.
Oh my gosh. There it is.
I can definitively say you've killed 3. I think you killed 2 more before coming into this yard. 4. Are we at 6
Is it a
deaths?
death count for me? I think it's a death count for me.
Oh, a death count for you.
Yep.
It looks
Leader.
like this
Can't
does
even
look more like
pronounce
Uncharted than Tomb Raider, because Tomb Raider is kind of slow paced. This is a little bit more fast paced than that, and that's shocking to say.
Just smash buttons.
And for those who have sent me messages regarding the pixelation and colors, I really do appreciate that. It's oftentimes hard to gauge things on this side, so I'm not being a jerk when I say I appreciate that. Thanks for letting me know. Because, I mean, you want the stream quality to be high quality, and if stuff goes wrong, you know, it's hard to tell on this end. So getting that feedback is greatly appreciated.
I gotta do all this again.
And that being said, if other problems crop up, let me know. So, how many times have you died, Tyler? 4?
I'm gonna say at least 4. Yeah.
We'll have to go back and replay the video to find out. We do have it there. But you've killed 2 people. Oh yeah.
I hate to say this early in the game.
Yeah.
They should just made Bloodborne 2.
You know, I'm ready for Bloodborne 2. I'm alright with them. Like, I'm not offended that this exists.
Yeah. But no, this is very like Tomb Raider-esque.
Is it too? Have you ever played Uncharted, the Nathan Drake games?
I've never played Nathan Scott Phillips.
All right, they're very much like Tomb Raider, but they're faster paced. Like in Tomb Raider, you die a lot with calculated jumps. You don't see a lot of enemies per se. In Nathan Drake, you see a lot more enemies, and it's
In
faster
Tomb Raider,
paced.
all I remember is like shooting a lot of bats.
Yeah, you see bats and bears and like cats as enemies. Not house cats, but like a tiger. Something like that.
A lot of house cats. This guy is smoking me. Can't figure out the buttons either.
Death. I do like the fonts they've got there on this. I know. Y'all are gonna ship me a WRX over it. I like how it looks. I think it looks cool. And I'm not even talking about the Japanese character. I'm more or less talking about like that thin, almost looks like a neon. Looks like something you would expect to see in Blade Runner. A little bit. Well, Blade Runner has, yeah. Actually a lot. Fairly true. Blade Runner does have a lot of Asian characters in it. And I have already failed at this death count. Uh-oh, play sure is about to stop. I may have to go preach again tonight.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I've got a few phone calls that are making me think that may be the case. So I may have to go
Gosh, what is going on here?
throw on a suit in it. I just messed up my own camera. I really need a studio to do this. I'm gonna have to build a home studio to go along with the church studio.
Man, needs more health. Like, I'm pretty sure I could beat Gundor first try nowadays. Maybe it's just I don't know the button that well, or don't
How different are the buttons layout in this from the Dark Souls button layout?
X is jump. So far there's no R2 option. There's no L2 option.
What about an L1? What does that do? Block?
It's kind of like the parry. Yeah, it's like a block.
Okay.
It seems when that bar fills up, you get a death blow.
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
That healing gourd is just not healing enough. So I gotta beat this guy twice.
Uh-oh. Mr. Tamagotchi.
Mr. Tamagotchi.
Yeah, Mr. Tamagotchi got you.
It's probably because I didn't feed my pet.
He did.
Probably
You
mad
didn't
'cause
feed
he
your pet.
hadn't
That is
been fed.
correct. That is correct. It's best to create some space between you and your enemy. Well, yes, thank you.
That is very true. But
The
you
only-
got to attack the enemy at some point.
Yeah. Well, here I'm gonna mute my microphone real quick and answer a call. We don't have a. But all right. All right, y'all. Yep, I gotta go do a program for another church tonight. Online.
Can
So
pick up later.
yeah, we can pick up later. we'll let you
Maybe
get.
later we'll try. Yeah, I'll keep playing this song. Maybe later we can try The Last of Us.
Oh, did you actually get The Last of Us? I couldn't tell
I
if that
did.
picture was things you were thinking about buying or things you had bought. Which I'm totally fine with this, dude. Like, it looks pretty cool. Well, I'm gonna wrap up the live stream.
Sounds good.
I know we didn't get anything deep, serious conversation, but everyone have a good day. God love you and have a blessed day.